Welcome to the Amazon Legends podcast, where we have real stories about making it big on Amazon. Our guests are CEOs of large companies and entrepreneurs who became powerful sellers, also experts specializing in helping sellers, and both former and current Amazon employees who will give us an insight from behind the scenes. Here's your host, Nick Urison.
Welcome to another episode of Amazon Legends. My next guest today is a dolphin trainer of 12 years who turned entrepreneur. And after, I guess, training dolphins, she figured, there isn't much I cannot do. So she's the owner and founder at BrushinBella, and also a proud single mother of soon to be a 4-year-old girl. So everybody, meet my guest, Cinthya Coutinho. Welcome to the show, Cinthya.
I thank you for having me, Nick. I'm very excited to be here today.
Oh, thank you for being here. You are an extraordinary entrepreneur in my book because, going from training dolphins, first of all, it's outdoors. And second, it's in the water, my favorite place always to be. And now you go behind the desk, being an entrepreneur, juggling all kinds of things. So it's really admirable. So, and in the process, you figured out a principle to apply when you create products. So tell us what that principle is.
So for me, the most important thing is quality versus quantity. So I do everything that I do for the brand. I do focus on quality of the items.
So quality is key in order to provide what Amazon calls the best customer experience. Of course, quality comes at a higher price tag. So am I to understand that you don't really care too much about the price point, but you care more about providing a good quality item?
Well, yeah. So starting a brand, of course, that there's a lot that goes behind it. But for me, building a brand, since I'm building a brand, especially baby brand, I want to focus. My main focus is quality. Yes, I need profit, but I think focusing on the quality, even though my profit margin is a little bit lower than, for example, comparing to other products in the market, I do think that right now, the major focus is quality. Well, quality will come first. And then, of course, with brand awareness and growing the brand, the profit is going to go up. So, yeah, I think that quality comes before the profit.
Okay. So we are going to kind of dissect your strategy in terms of pricing and margins. But what I want to really reiterate here, something you said, rather than focus on the profit when you're building a brand, what you mentioned as quality, I would refer to it as value. So even when you are building your brand at the beginning, you don't want to be the cheapest because cheap is not going to really give you value, right? So, however, you can also make it competitive enough by offering higher value. In other words, instead of selling a single item, if you create a pack, 2-pack or 3-pack, and then the unit price will be much, much more competitive, but nevertheless, you will still be at a higher price point. So that's another way to build value. So that way, if you build value and then you promote, shift the focus on promotion, then your brand will be established as a premium brand rather than just cheap, right?
Yeah, and that's 100%. And that's basically how I focus in the brand. So since I started the first product, I came out with sets. I came up with sets. So I'm a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I experienced that it wasn't the best experience, I tried to make it as best experience as I can for other moms. So yes, the products are all basically, they always come in bundles because then that way, yes, I can combine quality and still have profit, because if you're selling just one item, it's very hard for your profit margins. That is correct. So
Yeah.
I do where I put value is the quality of the product, but also how the product is packaged. So if you buy on Amazon, you can see like there's some, you can basically buy products that are very similar to each other. But one will come, I don't know, without a private label, without a brand, in a little plastic bag. We don't use plastic. So BrushinBella is one thing that since I come from that background of animals and working with dolphins, and I've been it's my whole life I've been talking about conservation and everything, and that it was one thing that I wanted to put in the brand. It was conservation. So everything that I can do to be as environmentally friendly as I can, I do, and that will increase my costs. So that's where I say that I focus on quality versus quantity too, because I do try, like everything that I do is like environmentally friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that becomes part of your brand and you will have a following just because of that. So if you attach yourself to a cause, that's really a part of the branding. There's one thing that I want to share with you and see if this is something that you do. Do you use package inserts?
Yes.
And what do you have on your package inserts?
So I have so my packaging inserts, like it depends on what product, but basically they come with talking a little bit about the brand, a little bit about conservation, and then of course there's the warranty part and like how to contact us and reviews because we work for Amazon. But yeah, that's basically what every package insert has.
Okay, how to contact us? Are you putting your website or your email?
Yes, actually now I'm doing a QR code to make it easier to everyone, because I just feel since I'm in the digital marketing world now too, I just think it's the easier the better. So I think it's much easier, instead of you typing something, you scanning something. So all of the inserts now come with a QR code that goes straight, or it goes to the website. You pick where you want to go.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. So one of the things that I recommend is, first of all, Amazon TOS can sometimes penalize you. Sometimes you're not doing anything against it, but it may be like a little bit of a gray area, and then you get in trouble. So the easiest way to avoid that is on your packaging, like outside the box, put your web address, so it becomes part of the packaging. It not necessarily in an insert, but outside of the box, just like UPC is printed on the box, you can have your web address. So that's the easiest way to show people your website, and the QR code. That's the genius of it. But the QR code has to link them to a page that gives them some useful information. So that way, obviously, you are capturing. Now, a guest shared this with me, and I'm going to tell you what this is. It's a genius idea. And he told me the kind of conversion he was getting. It's so good. So he does the same thing. He has the QR code. So once people scan the QR code, they land on the website. Now up comes the spin the wheel thing to get 10% discount. They have up to 90% discount on your purchase. So enter your email and receive this. Your coupon expires in 30 minutes. So they pull up the wheel, people spin it, they put their email and spin it, and then the coupon they get, the next thing says that this coupon expires in 30 minutes. So they are asked to make a purchase. So now they've not only gotten the email address, but also they made a sale potentially. So what is the conversion? He said they tried different things, but that spin the wheel is getting the most conversion.
Really? But then so he's selling straight from his website though.
Well, now the customer became his customer.
It's his customer. Yep. That's what we are working towards. But that's genius. I do have like the coupons and everything that goes, like I have the whole email targeting and everything, but that wheel thing is, I'm going to look into that because that catches me. So that is genius because every time I see a wheel, I click on it and to see what I got.
Absolutely. He said to me that they tested different things.
That's true.
And this is what was converting the most. So I said to him, 30 minutes, is that like, what if they don't want to buy? He says, well, then they lose the discount.
He doesn't retarget them though? Probably he does with a
No,
low.
I mean, he doesn't do the kind of discounts he offers with that wheel in any other way. He says, we don't want to get our customers used to getting a coupon code because a lot of the times they put stuff in their cart, they're about to check out and they contact customer service and say, can I have my coupon code? Says, we don't want to encourage things like that. So instead we say, here, they give nice discount because it's customer acquisition. So which one is better, pay for each customer or just give them a little discount, make a sale and get their email address?
Yeah.
So he does that. And he says we're getting the best conversion from the wheel, and that 30-minute thing has been a great success.
That's a great idea. I want to find an amazing idea for reviews though, because I follow all the guidelines. Of course, I don't offer anything. I follow Amazon, and Amazon is so strict with this because even with automated emails for reviews, I got because of using it, I got blocked. So, and it was automated. I used the tools, whatever, but now I have to go little by little, one by one, asking for reviews the way Amazon asks you to do it. And just getting reviews to me is like the hardest thing in the business, the review part. It's so hard. Yeah. It's easy for someone to go there and complain, which luckily I don't get as much, but it's very hard for someone to go. Like sometimes I get Instagram DMs saying, oh my goodness, I love the products. Like we are like BrushinBella, but then they don't write a review. So you just go, can you write a review for other customers? Because it's very hard.
Yeah. Are you using that button that is on the order for request a review?
I have Jungle Scout that I use just for that. Because then you have automated. So if you have Jungle Scout, I only use Jungle Scout for that. You have literally you go in your FBA orders and it's one button that asks for everyone instead of me going in it's too time consuming. Like I have to do other things. I can't just go by myself. So like Jungle Scout has, so I think they are partner with Amazon. I don't know, but I do. If you have Jungle Scout, you go to your orders and then you're going to see a orange button and it clicks for, like you can even put 100 on a page and you click and it just goes asking for everyone's review, following everything with Amazon. So because the other one, the automatic emails, like 3 days after purchase, you schedule, mine got blocked. I know they don't get those.
Well, also, people opt out, so they don't want to receive emails. But this one, so just curious, on the automated one through Jungle Scout, that sends to everybody. So what if somebody already posted a review?
So so if there's returns or like the person opt out, it just says ineligible. So it doesn't send it to the person.
Okay, so it's automatically factored in. Okay, that's great. So so you are working on with focus on quality rather than price. However, you obviously cannot sell stuff at a loss. So share with us some of the margins that you look for when you are building a product and with quality being the focus. So what kind of margins are you looking to achieve?
Well, ideally, I want to achieve like a 30 to 40% margin, but that's not the case every time, especially I can't, for me, it's impossible. Being in the baby industry is something that's very competitive. A bit like a small business competing with large brands, it's very hard. And then with that being said, PPC is very expensive. So, but it's something you need. Like you can't sell on Amazon without PPC. So I try to do like a 30% margin when I'm doing my purchasing and I'm doing all of my costs. But after PPC, I don't. And the first couple of months, if I don't lose, for me is a win. So that's how I play. I play if the product pays itself with PPC, this is great. And then I start building my profit on that. But like, for example, it's been 3 years of business and I only reinvest. So yeah, so 3 years, when I was still working as a dolphin trainer, I only had 2 products one had 4 variations, one had 3 variations. Those were my main products. It's very hard to manage everything. Single mom, training dolphins, COVID, everything. So I stayed in those products and learning, of course, and trying it out, because when you start selling on Amazon, like I got a course, of course, I got someone that was like guiding me. But when I said I wanted to go into the baby industry, it was like, don't do that. But I was like, well, so now I go this way. I'm doing that. So yeah, so like I try to go to a 30%, but when I do everything, but I think now with the baby items, I'm there.
Yeah.
Because my PPC costs are less, everything, but I just put all of the products combined to like one pay the other, basically. I don't know if that makes sense.
So let's understand the numbers a little bit. So when you say, so let's say you're buying a product for $10.
Okay.
What is your selling price that you assign to it to achieve that 30%?
So what I do is, so the price that I put, so for example, if it's $10, I would sell at 32.
You would sell at 32.
Yes, because then you have to pay Amazon, right?
Yeah. So if you sell, so okay. So no, it's okay, but we want to nail this down, because for our listeners, it's a great example and your approach is great. But the terminology kind of sometimes changes. So there are 3 buckets after your sales. There are 3 buckets for your costs. Bucket number 1 is the biggest bucket. That is your cost of the item. That's the landed price. So let's say you buy it for $10 and then you priced it, for the sake of example, $30. Okay. You made $20 profit. Right? So something you're buying for 10, selling for 30, your profit is 20. 20 divided by 30, that's the margin on the cost. So however, your cost is 10 divided by 30, your selling price. So that means 30% or 33%. 33% of your sale goes to buying the product. Okay, so we start there. So now you have the whole pie is 100%. That's your sale. That's $30. 33% of it goes to the merchandise purchase. You pay 15% to Amazon, right? So now 33 plus 15, you are up to 48. If you're selling at 30. And then comes shipping. So what is so for a $30 item that you buy at 10, how much do you pay for shipping roughly?
Shipping from there or shipping after it's at Amazon?
Amazon, FBA fee.
Ooh, My total, I don't know by memory.
So typically when you on each order, how much are you paying Amazon roughly?
I think Amazon takes out of the full, it's about $12.
So that includes their commission, right?
I think it's everything together
Okay.
because it splits up. I'm really bad at the reports.
So $12. So take an order that you pay $12 to Amazon for. What is the selling price? Is it $32?
32, yeah.
Okay.
32, 34, it depends.
Okay.
On the item.
So let's call it 32. So if you're paying $12 to Amazon, $12 is roughly about 45% of the $32. So that means if 15% is Amazon commission and you're paying 45%, so your shipping is pretty high. It's like 30%. So going by that example, so that $32 item, what is your cost?
I would say it's 10.
10.
Or
Okay.
more. Sometimes it's more.
Okay.
It depends right now because shipping from China was so high and then
Right,
items. So like it varies.
Okay. So $10 cost, that's 33%, 15% Amazon and 30% shipping. So now we are up to 33 plus 15, 48 plus 30, that's 78%.
So there's a 22%.
You've got 22% left. Your PPC basically will consume that 20%. Now, another thing to keep in mind is if you have a low ticket item and yours is not, I would not call it low, but it's close to low. So that means that on every $30 sale, you're making about $6.
Mm-hmm.
Your bid, basically your keyword bid, it's still healthy enough, but it doesn't really have a lot of room. So with your bids, that 20% can be consumed very quickly, and then it doesn't leave too much room for you to actually build liquidity. So now all this, you understand the whole the buckets. Amazon, the cost, that's one bucket. This next bucket is the commission, and the last bucket is the shipping. You add those up, take it away from your sale, then what is left has to be enough to support the PPC operation. This is not even the most important part. So the most important part is what is the value of the total inventory you carry at any point in time? Because the net profit you accumulate will go to financing your inventory. So you may, even if you make good margins, let's say that you net after PPC and everything, you net, let's say 15%. Okay. And you generate, let's say $50,000 every month net. If the inventory you're carrying at any point in time is like $100,000 worth, that means that it's going to take you how many months just to finance your inventory, right? So those are the numbers that are key to your, basically it's one of those scenarios. Suddenly you say, I don't understand. We have good margins. We're growing all the time. We're making good money, but there's never any cash. Mm-hmm. You're constantly cash strapped. That's because your margins need to be tweaked, because you are either carrying too much inventory, or you have to carry, then your margins are not supporting it. Mm-hmm. So those are the kinds of things that you want to keep in mind when you are setting your pricing.
The 15% Amazon, that's something new for me. To me, it was all included. There was not, I'm not good at the reports. It's what they say there. So like right next to the products, they have how much Amazon is going to take. They say, this is the FBA fee, this is this, whatever. And it's a total.
Yeah.
On top of that, there's still 15%.
No. That 15% is included, but it's a set because in that because all what you really care about is not the dollar values, but the percentages, because percentages will drive everything. So you always want to know what percentage of your sale price is your merchandise, what percentage is Amazon commission, and what percentage is your shipping fees.
Okay.
Now, Amazon will display Amazon fee, the commission, and the FBA together. But really, the percentage part of their commission is fixed, 15% all the time. But the only thing that varies, which you want to know, because by tweaking your packaging, you can make it smaller and then qualify for a small. So you want to keep an eye on what percentage of your sale price is going to the shipping.
Understood.
And you want to make sure. So what I usually recommend my clients is that's the first thing we do. We get, okay, let's understand your pricing. And if it's broken, then we want to fix it. And if it's not so good, let's make it better, because that's what you call setting yourself up for success. Because even if you do everything right, you got great exposure, you're not going to make any money if the pricing model is wrong. So I always say shipping should be between 12% to 16%. So if you set up that way and your cost being 30% is good. It's borderline. I don't want to go over 35%. So basically the idea is pay 35 to the merchandise, 15 to Amazon, it's 50. You're up to 50. Pay another, say 15% to shipping. Now you are 65 and you've got 35% left. Pay 20% optimized to PPC. You are netting 15% on every single sale. That's the winning model.
That's what I thought I was doing, because I just do like when I sit and I do like my Excel and everything, I have like the details, but like every time I'm like just looking at products. So like I'm searching new products and I am like calculating roughly how much it's going to cost, how much the packaging is going to cost, how much, like if it has to be packed inside with something plastic and needs to be biodegradable. So like how much that's going to cost. So like I just combine that. I go, okay, so this is going to be 30% of the price, because to me, that's what Amazon charge. So like, for example, if the product is, I don't know, $11, $10, Amazon charges me 11 with the shipping. So it's a total of $11. So with the 15%, that's the shipping and the Amazon. So that leaves me with, I don't know, $14 to spare for PPC. And I know we're talking about percentage, but without a calculator, I'm not good at that. But that's how I like when I'm setting up. Of course, I won't set up anything before I look at the prices on Amazon of the stuff that are being sold. And I can do that because I combine items. So like, for example, you go to Amazon, you try to buy a baby plate, it's going to be $15, just the baby plate. If you try to buy a bib, it's going to be another $10. So like being able to put a bib, a plate, a bowl, a spoon, and a travel spoon inside for $35, that's amazing. Yeah. So like I try to do that and still have a profit where, yes, I'm not taking money from me, but I have the money to, I don't have cash flow. Nope, that doesn't exist. It's like one item pays the other, but I just try to, since I'm trying to come up with new items, I'm just having the items pay for themselves.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. So, you know, ironically, this is always the case, you know, where everything ends up. People usually have a pretty good handle on the cost of the product, because they create it, they build it, you know, they try different versions and then finally negotiate, and finally they know, okay, my landed price is going to be this. I know, and I'm going to sell it for so much. They also know Amazon commission. Where things go wrong is always on the shipping.
Mhm.
because shipping, you never know. However, Amazon has an advantage because if you are selling through your website, and let's say you get an order, you are in Florida, you get an order from New York, it costs one price. You get an order from California, it costs something else to ship. Same item, same weight, same dimensions, but different because that's how carriers charge. But with Amazon, it's fixed.
It's fixed.
So
And
that's a huge advantage.
Yep.
But you need to know what is the percentage of that shipping. So because if you know the percentage, now you have full handle and you can translate. So what I always tell people is know these numbers and then configure your accounting system that you post to exactly in the same way. Sales at the top, cost of the merchandise, then selling expenses, and then break that down as selling and shipping.
Okay.
Then what you will do in your accounting, when you pull the final, you're going to see, oh, is it in line with what I planned? 9 out of 10, it never is, for two reasons. First, people don't structure their accounting that way. So you never know. It's very hard to figure it out. Two is there are other bits and pieces showing up, like storage, FBA fee, reimbursements,
Yes,
blah, blah.
reimbursement, and then you're super confused. What do I have?
Yeah, your
And it
FBA
just goes
inbound.
Amazon fees, like, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, what's included in this? And it's just so
Exactly.
confusing. And then PPC, and you're like, okay, Amazon took all my money.
So here is what I always recommend. I say, first of all, there is a service called A2X accounting. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Oh, A2X accounting, I recommend to everybody. What A2X accounting does is at this point, you probably have QuickBooks Online or Zero, something like that. So A2X accounting sits between your QuickBooks and Amazon. It pulls the settlement reports with one click. It posts the entire settlement report to your accounting. And you know immediately. So what I do is I actually have line items set up in my QuickBooks. One is FBA fees. The other is Amazon commission.
So exhausting.
And the last one is other FBA fees.
Jeez.
So FBA item fees and other FBA fees. So what I do is this is what I keep an eye on. All the other bits and pieces like FBA inbound, storage, blah, blah, all that stuff should be no more than 5% of my sales.
Okay.
So now because A2X is posting everything and they all gather up in the same place, when I pull the report, I can see what my sales were, what my cost was, and what my FBA fees were, what the Amazon commission, and what everything else was. Then you know immediately.
Amazing.
That's how you want to structure it. And then you are, so now bringing this back to quality versus price. Yes, you build quality without losing money. Otherwise, because the worst thing you can do is you think you are doing okay, you may be breaking even, but you're building your brand, but actually you're bleeding. So this will avoid that situation.
Well, hopefully I'm not bleeding.
No,
I think I'm even because like I said, I get no money out of the store. I get no money. Amazon, I don't even count as anything. It's literally like building my brand. And like now I'm coming up, which we'll never do it again. Lesson learned, lounging more than one product at a time. I lounged too many at a time. And it's not just the PPC that's killing me. It's the work, like just getting like just knowing everything and like making sure that all the listings are perfect. And like I work with baby stuff. Like, I don't know if everyone knows, but it needs to be tested. It needs certifications. And it's so much behind it. Like the test reports and how detailed and how Amazon can get into your specific brand. I
yeah.
don't know what their deal is. Like they were requesting so many stuff from my brand that I was doing my competitor research and they didn't have it. So like, why are you asking for mine if none of the other competitors have this? So it's exhausting. And I'm not saying it's not worth it, but it's exhausting. There's so much behind it. It's, of course, the budget is very tight right now. Even though I launched, it's more like it's different products, but like more variations of it. So it's not like I'm lounging. It's like some bath toys that I came, but like different colors, and then like 3 different bath toys, but in like each of them have like 2 different colors. So like there's like 6 different things.
Yes. Of course.
So it's a lot. So that's one thing that I learned. I just wanted to have more products, and this idea was like they don't have it in the market yet. So I want to launch this, but it's like dealing with lounging. It just took way longer because then I don't like the sample, and then I have to change this, and I want you to change that, and then I don't like this, and then it just being so like quality also doesn't. I can't lounge as fast as everyone else. You know what I mean? So
Well, I mean, you're right. That's a good lesson. You never want to launch too many items at the same time, mainly because it's not humanly possible to do the keyword research, assemble the titles, the bullets, and all the pictures, and do it all right, unless you have a huge team. And that's not the case. So that's why I always recommend take one parent and then have as many variations as you can, if it's a situation where you have different color size. If you don't have color size situation, then do what you are doing, like create sets or packs or bundles. So that way you are doing 2 things. First of all, you only, when you advertise through PPC, under the keyword search, it's going to be one of the items. But when people click on it, they'll see all the options on there. So you have a lot more, if you like, fishing, so to speak. And in addition, it's more value. You build more value, because if you create a pack or a bundle, you're going to increase your average order value, and that's an immediate impact on your sales. So that's something that I always recommend, but always one parent at a time. Launch one parent at a time. That's the rule.
5.
No, it's too much. That you get killed.
Oh, trust me, I have slept.
Yeah, well, you learned. You're not going to
Yes.
repeat it, right? So that's what matters. All right, cool. So let's cover a little bit more about the rest of the Amazon operation. So share with us how you are managing the workload. What kind of team do you have around you?
So I'm a 1-person team for I would say for like the purchasing, picking, quality testing, and like all those decisions. I was trying to do everything by myself. And even after I wasn't working as a dolphin trainer anymore, and I'm only focusing on the business, I can't do everything by myself. So I have, even though I am almost done with my digital marketing certification, I still am giving, like, I hired someone to do the social media posts. So like I'm in charge of the social media still, but I don't spend my time designing anymore the posts, because that requires a lot of time from me. I can do the product listings, but I will hire out someone with SEO experience. Of course, even though they do most of the job, I still tweak it if I like towards what I want. And you need to be very careful. At least I will be very careful with that too, because I hired someone to write the listing, and they wrote something that's against Amazon. And I think they wrote, I don't even know. I think it was like FDA approved or something. And the listing was deleted. And I'm like, and for you to figure out why, it's not as simple. Amazon doesn't tell you, hey, remove this. It's like, it took me a whole day to figure out. And I was like, oh, this can't be here. You know what I mean? So like, I've hired out for that, but like, it's not in-house team. I work with like freelancers. My social media designer, like she is the only one that works with me, like that I've got.
How about planning your replenishment?
This is all me.
And your financials?
All me.
How about the analytics?
Me.
And tell us, what numbers are you watching for your listings to perform?
What numbers, like what do you mean?
Like what Amazon analytics are important for you?
Oh, so analytics, like when I'm looking at my PPC, my analytics are not the best in the world when I look only at PPC. But when I look at the overall of my organic and my PPC, I do see a good analytics. I don't know, like, how can I explain this? Like, I don't have like a ACOS that's like, oh my goodness, this is an amazing. It depends on the campaign I'm running. Some campaigns I have a better ACOS than I have in others. So the way I look at it, like I look at the overall, maybe I'm bleeding a little bit in this product, but this one is bringing me a better margin.
So let me share with you some things that I'm seeing that I recommend our clients. So imagine you are driving from Miami to Atlanta. And you decided it's going to be a nonstop, you're going to do the whole thing without stopping anywhere, just stop for breaks or whatever. So you leave Miami at, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you know the distance, how many miles. And then when you arrive, you look at it, you say, okay, it's taken us 11 hours, let's say. You divide that by total miles between Miami and Atlanta. Then you say, oh, I was doing 45 miles an hour in average. That's your success.
Okay.
That's what you want for your Amazon operation on some data points. And I'll share with you what I usually recommend. Let's say you have 1 listing, 10 listings, doesn't matter. Over time, what is your conversion rate? That means not PPC, not keyword, but overall, over time. And you always want to be looking at it over time. What that means is this week, this month compared to last month, this quarter compared to last quarter. What is my conversion rate? Whether it's one SKU or across the board. So if you are converting at 20%, that means 100 people landed on your product page, whether through PPC or organic or otherwise, 20 of them bought something. If you know that number, that's your 45 miles an hour average speed. You need to know what that number is. And you need to know what that number is in order for you to compare real time how I'm doing. So if you do something, whether it's a Facebook campaign or PPC campaign or whatever, that 20% goes up, it's a good thing. Goes down, it's a bad thing. But you want to know, and what you want to know is you want to tag certain events like starting a new campaign, whatever. So oh, okay, my conversion rate was high last month, but it's low this month. Why? Well, guess what? If you start a new campaign, traffic went up, your conversion will come down. But at least then you know 2 things. One, you're comparing it to last month versus this month. Second, you tag the event. So conversion rate is one data point. The other one is average traffic
Mhm.
per listing. That's how many users you're getting, how many unique sessions, I should say, you're getting on each SKU. And you want to be able to drill down, of course, but you also want to know the overall. The third data point is what is your buy box retention rate? So what percentage of the time you are in the buy box? You may be the only seller for your product, but Amazon will still take you off the buy box.
They do. They do sometimes. It's not normal, but they
Yeah,
do.
but you want to know the numbers because
Fine.
sometimes, so you need to be seeing 100%. If
Mhm.
it drops to 95, you need to know. If it drops to 85, you need to know. So all those things are, so because every one of these things are things that impact your sales and your profitability. So those are the things that I usually recommend. So my question to you is, do you track any of these things?
I tracked the buy box. Analytics going to Amazon, to me, it's very hard for me to like tag and understand. That's one of the reasons why I started digital marketing, so I could understand this a little bit better, because like I can read my analytics from the website, but then I can't put the two of them together. Like it's like,
Yeah.
it's so hard for you to like I've created like campaigns, but like as soon as from the website, because I have a part of the website that I want them to buy at Amazon. Like it's not, I just set up my website store, but like I still want Amazon to, I'm not ready for me to like fulfill everything. I don't want to do that right now. So I want them to convert in Amazon. So like I have a part of the website to take to Amazon, but that's where my analytics stop.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm trying to figure out, like how I can tag this, because then I don't know if they converted or not. So like so it stops there.
Well, that, like I said, 3 data points I shared with you. Those are things you want to keep an eye on. We also favor the fourth one, which is average order value. You want to track your average order value, of course, by bundling and the way you're doing. You can. So one of the things that I recommend to people as a strategy, promotional strategy, is I say create some real nice bundles, higher value, higher price, and then offer a higher discount rate just on that SKU. And then make it available. Just create a coupon code just for that SKU and make it visible on the product page to everybody. So Amazon will list that as special offers and promotions. So people will see it. Oh, if I buy this one, then I'm going to get 20%. But in the process, you up to your average order value, but only available on that higher price SKU.
But Amazon also picks and chooses what they're going to put as like some items. I do the same process. So I go there, there's the product price, there's a sale price. So like Amazon will show the little cross. Some items they won't. And they just change the price. And then you can't see the little cross. And you're like, okay, but like it's on sale. Like I want my customers to see. They just choose to not show it. And then you call customer support and you're like, I want my little cross.
Yeah. They're
so like,
trying. Yeah, another thing that Amazon does is they're testing. They're constantly testing. So some things that they do, unfortunately, as sellers, you have to go with it. But it's
yeah,
it may not end up staying there. Yeah, I know about the list price and crossed out. I typically recommend everyone use an MSRP and then use a current price. So that way, you are already presenting those things with Amazon crossing out and now on sale and kind of thing. Also, I'm not sure appearing to be now on sale is a good idea always. So
yeah. No, but like when was it that I was? Oh, I had just launched it. So like I wanted to launch it with a lower price. That's like, okay, like it's lounging. This is new, but it's a bundle that's not in the market. Like there are some products that are similar, but they're sold separately. So now we're coming in like with this, it's the same price as one. And I'm like, okay, like, let me show, like, I want them, even though it is more expensive right now is the same price as that one. I wanted them to see that it's more expensive, but right now it's on sale, but like Amazon didn't help me out. Amazon would not put the correct whatever I wanted there. So I was like, okay, like I'll make a coupon, you know what I mean? So that's when I created like the coupon. And it's, I just sometimes depending on the campaign and what you want to target, like it's just like one is better than the other, but not every time they just do whatever they want.
So Cynthia, you are a very hands-on seller who is intimately familiar with all the things that Amazon offers to sellers. So I'm curious about what you think about my next question. If there is one thing you could wish Amazon to change in their policies for third-party sellers, what would that be? What would you like changed in Amazon?
Oh, to me,
You can only give me one.
okay, to me, and this might be just my opinion, but like their customer service to their customers is amazing, but to their sellers is not. Like, is not. I understand that they have to be strict, and sometimes I think they're very strict with my niche because it's babies, and I totally understand it's children, like they need to follow what they need to follow. But sometimes I think it lacks communication in between departments there because it's horrendous. Like I have a listing that's been out for 10 days. It's not my fault. The product arrived there and it's just exhausting. It's just exhausting. So if they could at least take a moment to like look into, and I understand there's so many sellers, but there's so many customers too, and they're great with their customer service.
Exactly. It's not an excuse. So,
Yeah.
but let me understand something here. I think there's a distinction here. What you are referring to, like if you have a question and then you ask seller support, that's one type of inquiry. But
Yes.
when there is a problem and you need help, that's a different type of inquiry, right? And that's where things go wrong, right? So otherwise, that standard service, standard support, it's also not perfect, but it's not the end of the world. But
it's not the end of the world,
right? That's where the problem is.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I ask this because I want to know what everybody's take is. So hopefully Amazon is listening and they can.
I love them. I sell on Amazon because I am Amazon only. That's where I purchase. This is where I do everything. I am one of the biggest Amazon customers, I would say, from everything, from my Alexa to like everything. So, but I don't want to get out of selling on Amazon. I'm not one that, of course, I'm building my brand, but I just think Amazon is so amazing. They offer something that I don't think as a small business, I'll be able to offer that quality service that they offer. Unless I grow a lot, then sure. But I just think like with their returns and like with the sellers, like, come on, like really, you're not gonna look what they took out of my bundle, like, so it's my problem. You just give them the money back and no questions asked.
Yeah, that's not gonna change. I mean,
it's not gonna change, and I get it, and I think I'm very lucky that I don't get a lot of those.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like, it's just
you know what I just read today earlier, that they are actually changing their return policy on ebooks as well. So after buying an it's usually non-refundable.
they'll refund it.
Yeah,
That's so bad.
there's
people that are not like, there's people that do it on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, just as you think, oh, maybe this has gone far enough, they're gonna try to, but no, it just gets worse. So anyway, listen, this was great. So let's get to know you a little bit. So I introduced you as such, and you mentioned a few times being a dolphin trainer. So tell us, where did you grow up, and give us your life experience a little bit.
So I'm from Brazil. I was born in Rio. My whole life, well, not my whole life. I lived in Rio till I was 8. I came to the US to visit, and I lived here with my mom and my uncle and my sister for about 4 years. And that's the first time when I went to the aquarium I worked at. So I went to Miami Sea Aquarium, I visited Seal World, and that's when I was
What brought you to the US?
my uncle lived here. So we came to Disney and to visit. And then my mom just came and like stayed here with him for a little bit. And we went to school here. Me and my sister for a little while. Then we went back to Brazil. I stayed there for, I don't know, 20 years. And then I came back to the US.
So had you become an American citizen when you lived here?
I became an American, no, because we weren't here enough. I had like a student visa at the time through my uncle, since he was like our legal guardian or whatever. But then I went back, and then I'm a citizen now, because family, and my boyfriend, we were like friends when we were little. We met through the internet. So basically we dated, we got married. I came over. I was married for 5 years. That's when I came, and I graduated in Brazil and I came here. And I started working with dolphins.
So, you mentioned so many things so lightly, and you kind of like, just go over it as if it's nothing. Listen, you have, first of all, you are an entrepreneur, okay? That's what you are. But you became an entrepreneur out of being a dolphin trainer. So that's a big transition, number one. Number two, you are an immigrant, for God's sake. You came, because even though you were here when you were 8, I mean, you went back. So in the end, it was a decision for you to come start a whole new life. And so that you decided to immigrate and pursue this entrepreneurship in the end.
Yeah.
So these are not easy things, people who are born here naturally. I mean, I'm also in the same camp. You have a lot of challenges, so you don't mention them so much.
Yeah. So yeah, people don't realize how much, like how the difference that it is. Like what I say, like it took me like from Brazil in college, 3 years, talking to the same person here in an aquarium, because I already dated my boyfriend at the time. So we already had plans that when I finished college, I was going to come, we're going to get married, whatever. So 3 years speaking to the same person to maybe get a chance of an interview, because like, yes, I spoke English, but like, I have an accent. You're a dolphin trainer. You have to talk on mic. You have this. Like, there's so many challenges behind everything that the people that are born here, they don't really, like, I come from a third world country. Like, they don't realize, they don't realize. I don't talk about it.
But how did you get over? I mean, were you afraid to do all this as it's a different country? It was easy for you?
It wasn't easy. It was very hard. Like I had no one here. Like I had my husband at a time. My uncle lived here, but he was back and forth coming from here, Brazil, because my grandma was sick. So I literally had no one. I literally left my family because, of course, my boyfriend at the time, but it was that dream to be a dolphin trainer. Like I had that dream since I was 8 years old. So
how did you build that resilience? I mean, where does that come from?
I don't know.
Maybe growing up as a kid, where your parents were tough, or did you?
My mom is, so I think it's since I was little. Like I lost my sister when I was 15 years old. Oh. So yeah, and then I lost another. Today it's actually 8 years that my older sister passed. So I've lost 2 sisters. So I do think that, like, seeing my mom, and like my mom has always been like super strong. You know what I mean? I come from my dad. He started from like nothing, didn't even go to school, and he was successful in whatever he did and what he aimed for. So I do think it probably comes from that. I just think I have to do something. I have to do something. I had everyone doubting me in college. they used to laugh at me when I used to say I was going to be a dolphin trainer. Yeah. And even though my mom didn't really believe it, I don't think she did. She never said it.
So who is laughing now?
I know. Right?
So
laughing.
listen, I just listen because I heard you say something earlier as we were talking. You said that you told people that you wanted to sell in baby category, and they said, no, don't do it. And you said, of course, with me, no. So there is this rebellious kind of approach in you, and at the same time, it's that this is resilience that you have despite everything. Like you're doing it, you say, yeah, it's just me, I'm doing this thing. So you mentioned your mother was strong.
Very strong.
Do you feel that you are like trying to show that you are as strong as your mother?
I think it's just, I don't know, like I tell people, I say, like, I don't do anything to like show or anything. Like, I just do what I think I'm supposed to do. I appreciate people's opinion of stuff, but like that is, I think that's one of the reasons why right now I got a divorce. It's a very strong personality. Like, you're not going to tell me no. Like, you're not like, I don't, like, I'm a single mom because clearly didn't work with the other boyfriend, because you're not going to tell me no. So I think I come from, I don't know. I think this is how I was raised. Like
Well, your mother being a strong woman, she raised a strong woman.
Exactly.
So,
So like,
but also, you know how it is. Parents always want to do things with their kids, but they don't necessarily turn out exactly. So but you matched up to her expectation. You actually really you exceeded her expectations, because if she didn't expect you to become a dolphin trainer either.
and none of them, except even when I said, okay, we're getting engaged, I'm going to the US, my whole family, even the ones that were like my godmom and like everyone that knows me very well, they gave me 3 to 4 months that I would be back. And it's been 12 years. Even after divorce, I didn't go back. I was here by myself. I was no family, but I had my dream career. I was a dolphin trainer. Why was I going to go back to Brazil?
So this is great, Cynthia. This is I mean, you are an inspiration to a lot of women, and these days we have the movements about for women in different ways, and they don't have to look too far. There you are. You are a movement all by yourself. You keep moving. You don't take no for an answer. So tell us, how can people contact you? How can they reach out to you? Give us your contact information.
So yeah, so I have we have, of course, the social medias that anyone can follow. Please help following BrushinBella on social media, but they can contact, we have the website. Our website is www.brushinbella.com. And they can contact me through there. They have the contact form. It goes straight to an email to contact.
Great. Thank you, Cynthia. This was not only educational, but very inspiring. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And this brings us to the end of another episode, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Be sure and subscribe, rate, and review our show. And be sure and share an episode with a friend. And thank you so much for being with us today. We'll see you next week here on Amazon Legends.